Hey folks, today I want to talk a little bit about percussion. To be more specific, I want to show you a nice and very easy way how to make shaker or tambourine fit a little bit better in the mix. Sometimes the transients and the peaks stick out even though you use compression for leveling and EQ. And currently I'm working on a project where I found out that a little bit of overdrive, especially in the percussion tracks, goes a long way. Together with compression and EQ, you can make the tambourine and shaker really sit perfectly in the mix. You can use any plugin or any overdrive plugin for that. I use the one-knob driver from Waves. It's the most basic driver plugin you can use. You can use anything you want. The concept is basically the same. You just have to use a little bit of it. So let's get started. Okay, so here's the mix now that I'm currently working on, and we have here the tambourine, which was played with my Untitled tambourine, standard basic low budget tambourine, and I engaged the NLS channel here to give it a little bit of saturation and kind of drive. And here are now the two other plugins. And firstly, just listen now to the tambourine without the overdrive and the EQ and compression. Okay. Okay, and what I immediately hear is that, and as you can also see, the peaks, the transients, sometimes stick out a little bit too much. So it's not really a coherent level. And to work with that, I'm going to use a little bit of compression. And I have here the SSL channel, the E channel. I have a ratio here of 6:1. And a kind of fast release, but not too fast. So, and also a filter here, 350 Hertz, just to get rid of anything that's below there, even though there will be not anything at all, just to make sure to have a low cut here. So I disengage now the EQ for now and listen just to the compression. Without. With. Okay, so that's much better here. Even though it got a little bit louder, and also wanted to add a little bit more presence in the high end, so I added around 12K just to the beat to give it a little bit of lift there. So listen to that. Without. And with. Okay, so even though it sticks now more out because we added a little bit of high end there, I now engage the overdrive plugin, and you can basically use any distortion or overdrive plugin for that. I have the one-knob driver here because it's pretty much the most basic thing you can add. And so let's engage it and dialed in just a little bit of drive. You can use more or less, really depends on the source. So just listen at the peaks and the transients, how they get tucked down, but in a very good way. And without. So here it really sticks out. And here it perfectly fits into the song. Now let's listen in solo without the one-up driver. And with. So you can really overdo it, for example like that, which doesn't suit the song at all. But just a little bit, a tiny amount of overdrive goes a really long way here. And again with the song. With. And without. So even though I did use a little bit more high end, just to get a little bit of sheen out, I ducked it down with the overdrive. And sometimes you don't have to use EQ at all, or for example not too much compression, like a 6:1 ratio. So sometimes just a drive can fit the percussion perfectly in the song, but yeah, that fits quite good here, I think. So that's the tambourine, and now head over to another percussion instrument that is very popular. Let's take a look at a shaker. Okay, so here's another mix I'm working on. This time I want to show you the example of the shaker. The shaker is from the loop library of Logic. I think it perfectly fits with the song. And now let's have a listen to the shaker without compression, EQ and the Overdrive plugin. Okay? Okay, now let's engage the compression plugin, which is the Waves 3A here. I added just a little bit of peak reduction to tame the transients, and that's it. So let's have a listen to that. So I really don't want to squash here the signal. And now let's listen just to the drums and the percussion itself. Maybe you hear it a little bit better with the EQ and the overdrive now. Okay, and what I did here is, again, the SSL channel from Waves. Add a filter here, I reduced, or I filtered out everything below 100 Hertz. No compression, because I used the other compression here. And what I did here is now I reduced a little bit of 10K, so -4 here, and did nothing else. So let's listen to that. And without. With. So it fits quite nicely, but now again with the overdrive, I just added a very tiny amount here, just 0.2, which is pretty much nothing. And now let me engage both plugins together, because you can really now hear the difference. and without. Just sticks out a little bit too much for my liking. Okay, and together with the song, without, and with. Perfect. Okay, so that was just two small examples I wanted to show you. I hope that you could learn a little bit about that. Maybe you also did it the same way with Overdrive, also on other instruments. So it also is very useful and popular on vocal tracks to sneak a little bit of grit and dirt, for example, into the vocals. Use it often on bass, but it also works very good on percussion or even on certain drum tracks. So let me know what you use on your percussion tracks. For example, do you also use Overdrive or have you other methods for it? I think you can also use saturation to overdrive a tape deck, for example. And yes, so thanks for watching. Please subscribe and see you next time.